Well, I thought I'd do a bit of a retrospective video today, so I'll apologize in advance to Willie Nelson and Julio Iglesias if I reference all the bikes I rode this year, not counting the ones I own from various demos and test rides. So at a rough count, that's about 10 or 11 bikes that I took out on demos and test rides. So I'll go through which bikes those were and tell you what my favorite one was of the year. And maybe after I go through the list, see if you can guess in the comment section as to which one I will name as my favorite non-owned bike that I've ridden this year. No particular order: the Aprilia RS 660, Husqvarna 401 Vitpillen, the Sportster S, the Pan America, the Indian Chief, Indian Scout, Indian FTR, Indian Challenger, Indian Springfield, Harley Davidson Street Bob 114. That might be it. Let's see, how many is that? That might be around 9 non-owned bikes. So that's a pretty good list. There's no Triumphs in that group. I really like the Triumphs. I'm not going to ask someone to ride a bike that I don't intend to buy directly. So they're not really forthcoming with offers of the test ride at the local Indian / Triumph dealer. All those Indians I rode were at a demo event. The Vitpillen was a used bike. I was getting service at a dealership that used to be a Harley dealership, but while I was riding around, they were practically begging me to test ride some of their used bikes. So that's when I rode the Vitpillen. No video footage of the Vitpillen because it's a really low bike. I mean, unless you look down, you don't even see any motorcycle while you're riding it. So I could show you that video, but the camera was aimed at the sky the whole time. So here's a picture of when I got started. If any of you saw that video about what I thought Indian needed to do to up their game in general, but particularly relative to Harley, you probably already know which of the Indian bikes I preferred based on that demo ride. But that video was done back in March, so as a refresher, the ergos were kind of set up weird, and a lot of people got upset when I pointed that out in the video. I'm not sure why. I mean, I wasn't blaming the bike, really. It was really Polaris or Indian's decision to set the bikes up like that for the demo. And yes, I know you can buy different handlebars and pegs and all that good stuff. My point is, if I'm more or less a typical rider size at 6 foot, 180 pounds, I thought they should have been set up a little bit more in a standard fashion out of the gate. But anyway, really nice bikes. I'll just tell you, my favorite of the Indians was by far the Challenger. I like the Springfield too, but the bars were a little high. I don't know why they were so high on that bike. So, Indian Challenger. The FTR might have been a close second had it not been for the guy in front of me on the demo ride going 17 miles an hour the whole time. So that wasn't really a good way to assess the capabilities of that bike. The Vitpillen was a lot of fun, I have to admit. I like that bike a lot. I'd get the 701 version myself if I were to get that bike. The Aprilia, I thought I was going to get Aprilia this year. I take that back, it wasn't the RS 660. That's what I wanted to ride, but they'd sold it already. I rode a 660 Tuono in that acid gold color. Really cool bike. Looks a lot like the RS660, but it's the more naked version, if you will. But for whatever reason, the fueling was set up really weird on that bike. I didn't like the fueling at all, so didn't buy that bike. So what else? Let's get to the Harleys. So I really liked the Pan America. I was prepared to like it even before I rode it, and when I rode it, I liked it even more. I liked the Sportster S a lot. It was a lot sportier than I thought. Not crazy about the looks, but to each his own on that one. They're going for a younger demographic who I think like the more radical styling probably more than somebody like me. So I guess I've pretty well worked through my list. That leaves the Harley Davidson Street Bob 114. By far my favorite non-owned bike that I've ridden this year. I absolutely love that bike. And I'm not in the market for any new bikes, but I really liked it. I think had they not been selling it for so far over MSRP, I might have gotten it instead of the Katana. My wife bought me a Katana for our 25th wedding anniversary. Best wife ever for me. My only wife I've ever had, so I'll keep it that way. But she hooked me up. That was about $11,000 before tax out the door on that bike. If I could have got the 114 Street Bob 114 for around MSRP, so around 16 with ABS, the standard black and orange, which was my favorite color scheme, although the other three are good too. That bike was an absolute blast, and you know somebody out there is going to put a 131 in that bike. 114 is plenty, but I wouldn't discourage anybody for putting a 131 in it. Why not? Only thing I really didn't care for was the little display for the Speedo. It was in the bottom portion of the handlebar. Small quibble. The riding experience of that bike was fantastic. So there you have it. Please let me know what you think.